Hello, welcome to Solar Astrogram. So today's topic is about the outer planets and the inner planets and their effect on our human beings. So as you all know, in the solar system, the inner planets, which we call as the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. These are called the innermost planets, and the outermost planets are the Jupiter and the Saturn. And the Rahu Ketu, they are the shadow planets. They don't have any existence, as you all know. So, how to understand these outer planets and the inner planets? The inner planets are the internal relationships which we have already. See, everybody will be having the inner planet relationships only the more. Like if you say sun and moon, mother and father, and Mercury, we can take it as a children, and the Venus as a spouse you get, and for the females, we take Mars as a spouse and all. So these are called the inner planets. All the relations which we have are all the inner kind of relationships. So the outer planets, whereas the Jupiter and the Saturn is the outermost planets. So we go outside and do the profession part, and what all the karma is related karma. Well, that is the action which you do for the survival and all, for the like job and all. See, it is represented by the Saturn, as you all know. And for the search of Guru, you go. Why this Jupiter and Saturn are given the outer planets? Because these are the heavy planets also. The Jupiter is very heavy planet, and we go for in the earlier days also. The gurus used to stay in the outer regions only. Most of the outer regions where they were they find most of the peaceful areas like Himalayas and all, and the hilly regions and all. They will be staying there. So that's the reason. No, this when we go for the gurukulams in the previous days, they used to go to the gurukulams in the and they are like in the forest areas only. So Jupiter stays there because he wants silence, pin drop silence. So where the silence is there, there Jupiter will be very prominent there. So these are the outer planets, and the outcast people like whom we call as the village or the Chandalas. They are stayed in the outside of the villages, in the outer areas of the villages, and also these are the people in the previous days. They used to consider like who are all the working members who are to do the all slavery kind of jobs and all. They used to stay in the outside area. So nowadays we do not compare like that, but it was a fact when it was written. It was like that only. So if you see the kingly planets like sun and all. So these are the kingly planets, and the moon also is like a queen only. So they are the internal areas only. They occupy the internal zone and all. And the sun, as you know, the Atma Karaka. So general Atma Karaka for everybody is sun. So he stays inside and he is protected by everybody. The Mars is the soldier who is standing outside to protect the family of the king. So the family of the king is like sun, moon. For the family of the sun is moon, Mercury, Mercury and the Venus. These are the family members they consider the family members. And Jupiter is considered the minister who come outside from the outside areas, and he sits in the court for the judgment and all. Okay, so like this, the inner planets and outer planets. So what you can understand more in the for the Jupiter, like inner planets and outer planets, is when the inner planet, like if you take in the zodiac sign also, from the Aries to this Pisces, the outer planets region also, you see, from the Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. These are the outer zones. That's the reason this Jupiter rasis and all, and Saturn rasis and all is kept outside, whereas the internal core part, that is from the Aries to the Scorpio, it is the internal area, internal zone, where you get like all the planets from the moon, Mars, Venus and Mercury. These are the internal planets which may stay inside this area only. But the exaltation points, as you see, if you see, the Venus is exalted in the Pisces, which is the outer area which is getting exalted. and Jupiter, which is getting exalted in the inner area, and Saturn also is getting exaltation in the Libra, which is the inner zone of the planets. So when why these planets are getting exalted in the inner regions is because the Guru has to come to the court to give the advices and all, and whereas the workers and the workmanship has to come inside, and for the equality also. If you see for the Saturn also, it is for the equality, which that's the reason he is getting for the exalted here. So for the justice, if they want any kind of justice, if they are getting any sufferings, so they need to come to the court and ask for the any kind of like for the solace, for the peace of them. If they are facing any problem, they will come internally and they'll ask for the help for the king and all. So this is how it was. Actually the planet position also like that only. Planetary positions also are placed in certain way, like it's like a court, it's a king court, and where this all planets are getting. In the same way, the zodiac, where the in the universe also, the planets are posited in the same way also in the solar system, the inner planets and the outer planets. So the Mars is which is getting in the outer region, because no, this is the only planet which is Mars, which plays a very important role, has an intermediary for the outer areas and the inner area. Because no, when the Mars is the end planet for the inner area, if you take the starting position of the Aries part and the ending position, which is the eighth for the outer region, the eighth is the starting point. So there also Mars plays a very important. So it is the intermediary for the outer and the inner. So as you all know, the Mars is the Bhumi Karaka. If you want any planet which has to enter into the Earth, they has to come through Mars only. So that's the reason the and which any planet which want to go outside of the outside also, it has to take the permission from the Mars, because no, it is a inner planet zone and the outer planet zone, as I told you before. So what we need to understand in terms of medical terminology also, in the medical issues also, whenever these outer planets come into the internal zone, they will create lot of health related problems also. It's a simple way to understand it. I'm not going into very detailed part, but the simple way which we can understand is, whenever the outer planets like Saturn, and even though it is getting exalted in the internal zone, but when it is coming to the internal zone of the king court, so because it is having any problem only, it will come inside. Okay. And for the Jupiter there is an exemption, but health wise also he left, even though he is getting exalted in the Cancer also, he will the native will face health kind of issues related to the Jupiter. Okay. So this is the outer way of understanding, which I'm not giving a total detailed understanding here, but to understand, you can have a like you can understand more when you think into the deeper. When you understand more, you can have your own thought process to understand it. Okay. So what I mean to say here is, when the outer planets come into the internal zone of from the Aries to the Scorpio, they will definitely create an health issues. So because the outer caste people are coming into the inside zone, so it will always create a chaos in the life matter. Even though it's getting exalted also, it will create a problem. Whereas the Jupiter is a different concern, because here Jupiter is an advisor and he is a guru who enter into the court only to solve the problem here. So even because of the aspect, as you all know, the Jupiter aspect and all, it will create a very good. Even though it is getting exalted, if you see from the aspect from the exalted position, it is the exalted Jupiter will have aspect on the outer region, that is the eighth. It will have an aspect on the Scorpio, and the seventh aspect will be on the Capricorn, and the ninth aspect will be there on the Pisces and all. Okay. So exalted planet will have an aspect, only one aspect will be the internal area, and outer aspect will be the more. Why the Jupiter is having this kind of aspect is, because for the knowledge, if you want the knowledge and all, you need to go outside only to sit to do the tapasya, or to do any kind of sadhana also. You need to have peace of mind there, so that you can have your divine grace, and you can feel the cosmic energy more also, because peace is very much required for doing any kind of sadhana. So that's the reason Jupiter is going having the aspect also on the outer areas only. If you take from the exalted place I'm talking about. So in the same way, when these outer planets come inside also, that area will definitely get affected. If you take any native who is having the Jupiter exalted also, from the house wise also, from the Aries wise also, the house wise also, that area will go into the problem, because the outer planets are coming into the internal area here. Okay, and the same way the Saturn getting exalted in the Libra, if you take from the ascendant wise and the house wise connectivity, and the ascendant wise connectivity, or Aries, from the starting from the Aries also, the in the both ways, that area will be affected. Definitely that area will be affected here. Okay, and coming to the aspect for the Saturn also, the third aspect, which is from the exaltation point, I'm telling you, from the exaltation point, if the from the Libra, the third aspect will be on the which area? From the Saji, it will be having the Drishti, that is the aspect on the Saji, and the seventh aspect will be on the Aries, and the 10th aspect will be there on the Cancer sign. So if the planet is getting in the, if you see the exaltation also, so these people will get effect from the ascendant, whichever the Cancer sign is there, whichever the Sagittarius sign is there, whichever the Aries sign is there, that part will be definitely will getting affected. Okay, in any which way, that kind of relation may be affected, or it may be, I'm not going into the detail here, but it will be affected in some or other way. It will be having an effect. Okay, so this is how the outer planets and inner planets play a very important role. Okay, so this is my brief out on the outer planets and the inner planets. You can think deeper to understand more better. Okay, because this is a very beautiful planet arrangements which has been done in terms of health wise, and for the prediction wise also, it will be very good to understand in this way. And if you see the chart also, you can predict very well using this kind of this logic also. I mean to say, this logic will be very important while to do the prediction part. Okay, thank you, and I'll come out with the more interesting videos. And more importantly, this the degree system of understanding the chart, which the long back I want to do the video, but I could not do the videos due to the busy schedule, because I'm working in the temple. So my temple timings and the home time, like for doing the videos and all, I'm not getting any time to do the videos also, because of the temple schedule. Because early morning I'll go to the temple, and I'll come out in the afternoon. So because getting early time in the morning, I need to take some kind of rest in the afternoon. So in between there'll be a lot of consultations also. So totally I'm not getting the time to do the videos. That's the reason I'm not able to continuously put the videos. Actually, the degree system of understanding was to do for the do before 6 months or 1 year before only, because a lot of research I've done on the degree part of degree, and I thought of taking a class on the degree also. So hopefully tomorrow, after 2 or 3 days, definitely, or immediate, I whenever I get the time, I will do the video on the degree system also. And for this I'll be taking a class also for the degree system of understanding also. So if at all anybody is interested to take the degree class of the system, degree based predictions, if you want, so that I'm going to start very soon. So if anybody is interested, ping me on my number, like 9110726185. So you can tell your interest that I am interested to take the degree class from you. So if at all, if many people are interested to take the degree class, you are most welcome. I will be teaching to them. If at all, if anybody is not very much interested also, like not taking the class and all, so I will be posting the videos anywhere. I want to do the posting on the degree system of understanding, but I don't think so it will be happen very soon. If at all the class is there, definitely I'll give a time to do the class. So mostly I'll be doing in the weekend only. If at all you are interested, this weekend we can plan. If at all minimum 5 students, if at all they are there, I can plan for this weekend. So please share your interest if you are having to learn on the degree system of understanding. Thank you.